Suzume is a 2022 anime film that combines deep storytelling, passionate dialogue, fantastically vibrant and yet mysterious world building, and beautiful artwork. It can appeal to children, young adults, newcomers to anime, full-blown long-time weebs, has the emotional story that can appeal to women, and supernatural action that can appeal to men. If you can't tell, I really enjoyed Suzume, and I'm excited to tell you all about it. This is Marks on Anime, and today I'm reviewing Suzume. Now, let's get into it. Suzume centers around 17-year-old Suzume Iwato, a high school student, and a mysterious young man named Souta Munakata. Together, they work to stop a string of disasters throughout Japan by closing doors that unleash a massive supernatural worm responsible for triggering earthquakes.
Right.
The director of the film, Makoto Shinkai, is also known for directing such anime films as Your Name in 2016 and Weathering with You in 2019. Along with Suzume, these are three of the highest-grossing Japanese films of all time, both in Japan and worldwide, at the time of their releases. After seeing Suzume, the other two films are definitely in my watch queue. I'm going to break down the plot for you and be giving my opinions on the film as a whole. So this is your spoiler warning.
Spoilers. 2.
Suzume Iwato is an orphaned high school student living with her aunt. One day, she meets a mysterious man, Souta Munakata, who's searching for doors in abandoned locations. Together, they discover a supernatural worm that causes earthquakes by escaping through these doors. After inadvertently freeing a keystone cat that holds the worm in check, Suzume and Souta begin a journey to lock the doors and stop the worm from causing further destruction. It turns out, Souta is known as a closer, someone designated with closing these abandoned doors throughout Japan to prevent the giant worm from escaping and causing major damage and destruction. Souta comes from a long line of closers, and the job has now been entrusted to him. Along the way, they receive help from various people, but Souta is eventually turned into a chair by the mischievous cat, now known as Daijin.
I have several questions.
As Suzume and Souta pursue the worm across Japan, they learn more about the mysterious ever-after realm and the legend of the keystones that keep the worm sealed. In Tokyo, Souta is forced to become the new keystone to stop the worm from causing a catastrophic earthquake.
You blew it!
However, Suzume is determined to save him, and with the help of the second keystone, she enters the Ever After and frees Souta. In the process, Suzume realizes that she had visited the Ever After as a child after losing her mother in the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. She reunites with her younger self, helping her move forward with her life.
What a twist!
In the end, Suzume and Souta successfully seal the worm again, and Daijin reverts to being the Western Keystone. After her journey, Suzume returns home to Kyushu with her aunt, revisiting the friends she made along the way. No, that's not the meme, I'm being serious. Eventually, she runs into Souta again at the same place they first met, suggesting their bond will continue.
Well, isn't that cute?
I'm going to put my nitpicky hat on and critique two things about the film, just cuz. First, Suzume meets Souta, and while she doesn't admit it at first, falls head over heels for him to the point of where she's literally willing to go to the afterlife and sacrifice herself for him.
Why would you do that?
I will back down a bit on that one because she's young and impressionable. He's sort of introducing her to a world she never knew existed, and she gets sort of roped into helping Souta after he gets turned into a chair. So while this is a bit of a critique, it's not that serious and can be explained. The other thing I can think of is that while the world building was well done, the story could have definitely gone deeper. What is the worm? Where did it come from? Where did the doors come from, and why do they behave the way that they do? How did the closers get started? How did they get the job to begin with? Will Suzume's aunt start dating her coworker that's super obsessed with her? What's going to happen to Sota's friend who helped drive Suzume and her aunt across half of Japan?
I don't know.
But then again, Suzume does the same thing that a lot of great anime fantasy films do. It tells you just enough to get you through the story. It builds just enough of the world for the story to sort of make sense from point A to point B. If it doesn't need to be explained, it won't be. So again, this critique can be thrown aside as not that important. The last point is something that a lot of Western films and series suffer from: over-explaining. That's why every even semi-popular show or film gets a sequel, a prequel, spin-offs, and an entire cinematic universe to explain why someone in the first 20 minutes of a film had a fuzzy yellow keychain. That's actually super deep and important and requires its own miniseries. Barf.
How about new?
If I had to break everything down, I would give the art an 8.5 out of 10, the dialogue gets an 8 out of 10, the character building I would give an 8.5 out of 10 because even side characters had their motivations pretty well fleshed out. or were made fairly obvious. The world building gets a 7.5 out of 10 because it's well above average, but I would have just liked to see a tad more of information on why things behave the way that they do. And the story itself, I would give a 9 out of 10 for having a little something for everybody. Altogether, Suzume is solidly an 8.5 out of 10 in my opinion. Rotten Tomatoes has a fresh critic score of 96% and an audience score of 98%. Metacritic has a critic score for the film of 77 and an audience score of 8.2. Meanwhile, IMDb gives Suzume a 7.6 out of 10. Regardless of what it's rated, you can have a fun movie night for yourself, for you and your significant other, or for your whole family with Suzume.
I came here to eat ass and watch anime.
Oh no.
And I just finished One Piece.
Comment with your thoughts on all of this. Have you seen Suzume, and what would you rate it? Do you agree with my opinions, or have you not seen Suzume but are likely to watch it now that you've seen my review? Let me know down in the comment section. Also, please share this video around to everyone you know, and don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and click the little bell to be notified every time we post brand new content. This has been Marks on Anime, and we'll see you next time.